Well, hello everyone again, and welcome to the Beards and Blush podcast. I say again because we just recorded about 5 minutes worth of introductory and bullshit, and everything was muted. So
Yeah, that's rough.
yeah, we're gonna dive right back into it. We are Beards and Blush, the live couples podcast. I am the beard.
I am the blush. My name
Uh-huh.
is Kendall.
Yeah, you don't need to know my name. Go back to previous podcasts.
Yeah, watch them all.
As always, we are live streaming this on YouTube and Twitch at Beards and Blush. Just search us. You can find us. Give us a thumbs up, a like, a follow, a subscribe on YouTube. But most of all, definitely follow on Twitch because we're right there with getting that subscriber button on Twitch. Basically, the difference between the live stream and the audio cast is just bonus content. Every once in a while, we'll do some interaction with chat, take some questions, respond to some people, stuff like that. That's about it. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Beards and Blush as well.
Yeah, just click it all, you guys.
Yeah, everything is at Beards and Blush,
Everything's at Beards and Blush.
and everything helps us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you been thinking about your high point and low point?
I sure have.
Did you get them?
Yeah.
What was your low point
My
of
low
the weekend?
my low point of the weekend was I got sick.
Oh yeah, you did get sick, didn't
I
you?
had a really bad migraine
Yeah.
on Sunday morning, and it was so painful that I puked. It was awesome. What was your low point?
Well, Saturday night
Mm-hmm.
we had a little run-in.
Mm-hmm.
I've lived in this apartment for over 3 years, and I've never had an issue with any of the tenants that have come and gone until the people moved in upstairs. And they have been nightmare fuel for the last 6 months that they've been here.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturday was finally kind of the tipping point. It was 2:30 in the morning. I had to be up in 3 hours for work.
Mm-hmm.
And they came home from bars just hammered. And I came in so they were being very, very loud, very obnoxious, banging on stuff, stomping on the floor, our ceiling, yelling, hooping, hollering, all of that shit.
Just playing music, being loud and obnoxious.
Yeah, music was loud, all of that shit. So I went up there and very, very politely asked them to shut the fuck up. And I believe I also used get the fuck out a couple of times. And they told me to fuck off, and that's fine. I expected that. So the local authorities were called, and nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Absolutely nothing. In fact, it just made them a little bit more pissed off
Yeah.
to the point where they were doing it on purpose and yelling down at us.
Yeah. They were like knocking on the floor and like mocking us, which is
Yeah.
fine. Like, whatever. Okay. I'm going to tell my side of the story, okay?
Sure.
Okay. So I woke up and it's really hard to wake me up. I'm a really heavy sleeper. And I woke up to them like just partying up upstairs. So I sat there for like good 20 minutes just waiting to fall back asleep because I can normally fall back asleep, but I couldn't. The music was just way too loud and they were just banging and being so obnoxious. So I didn't know if Matt was up, so I just quietly go, "Hey, you up?" And he goes, "Yup." And I was like, oh crap, like this means he's been up for a while. And I was like, okay, well, like, do you want me to go up there and just like ask them to turn down the music, and like, you know, we're trying to sleep, like we work on the weekends. And he said no. So
I said no because that hasn't that's not my way.
yeah.
That hasn't been my way the whole time we've been there, but then it just got worse.
Yeah, so another 10 minutes goes by. I'm like, please just let me go up there. And he just gets out of bed and starts throwing on clothes. And I was like, oh crap, this isn't gonna go good. Like, it's not gonna be nice. And so I was like, no, like don't go, like I can just go, it's fine. And he's ignoring me, just putting on more clothes, putting on his shoes. And then so I was like, Oh, whatever. I literally just like laid back down. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I like just laid back down. I was like, it's out of my hands at this point. And my dog was woofing because he was up and she was just getting excited. Like she knew something was wrong. And
Well, she's what woke me up. She was
I don't know how that
she was yipping and woofing for 20 minutes at least at them.
and I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Until like I woke up and she had probably calmed down a little bit. But yeah, so he went up there and he walked out the door. My dog got excited and ran like towards the door, and when he ran towards the door, like it was nonstop. So I opened the door because I'm a nosy bitch and I want to know what he said, but I couldn't hear what was being said because
Nobody knows exactly what I said.
because my dog was barking so much and she was just so excited, and
Yeah.
that was it.
I think the dog knew something was up.
Oh yeah, she knew something wasn't right, something was off. So after that and the cops came and everything, two of them decided to start having sex,
Yeah.
and then Matt did
While the other ones were still up there.
yeah, it was real, it was loud, whatever.
It's fine.
It's fine. But like my thing is like
Weird.
they were clearly drunk, and
Yeah.
like he clearly had like whiskey dick, like something was wrong. And it was nonstop of them. Like it literally went on for like 45 minutes. Like
I got up and took a shower.
I know he got up and took a shower, and I was like, I can't believe this is happening.
I was like, I gotta get up in an hour anyways. I might as well get up and take a shower, and then hopefully they'll all be passed the fuck out and I can get an hour's nap.
it was just
And I did.
it was just an uncomfortable time for all of us.
And all of that aside, the death threats that were being shouted through the floor at me for calling the cops and going up
Yeah.
there to begin with, and I wish.
It was great because he was outside talking to the cops, and like we could hear like there's like I think there's 3 girls that live up there, and like one of them occasionally has a guy come and go. Not the same guy, by the way, ever. It's a different guy every week, pretty much.
Yeah, different cars every week out there.
It's pretty bad. But we just heard one of the girls like, I'm gonna go kick his butt, and not butt, they were saying other curse words, and you could like tell they were all like by the door. Like one of them was trying to block the door, like don't go do it, and like I'm gonna go kick his butt, blah, blah, blah. And it was nonstop, like forever it felt like.
Yeah.
And I just
So I was up from I don't know, like 2:30 until about 4:30 ish, and I went to bed at 11. So I ended up getting like 3 hours of sleep plus like a 45-minute nap before work. It was a rough day.
yeah, I felt really bad for Matt all day.
Yeah, it's fine. What was your high point?
My high point was, well, I mean, we're gonna count today as my weekend because
Sure.
I had today off.
Yeah.
And I got to sleep in.
That's it.
That's
That's all
it.
you got for me?
That's it. I worked all weekend.
Yeah. I actually I had a couple of points, and like I didn't write them down, and I know I always say this, like I'm gonna remember it later, no big deal.
Oh God.
And then I fucking don't remember it. So like I don't know.
You don't know what your high point was?
I got paid.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna assume you got paid.
That's about it. I actually had something and I don't remember it.
Well,
I don't know.
that's fine.
That's
You got paid.
yeah.
You got
Yeah.
money.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
You know, I was sitting at work. What day was that? That was Saturday. Saturday I was at work, and that's probably why I was feeling so cabin feverish. Was because that was the day of. So I have no reason to feel like that on Saturday at work. But I was just feeling some kind of way. I just didn't want to be at work. And like I was struggling so hard with doing my job. Like I just wanted to be somewhere else. I was thinking other things. People were coming up and talking to me, and I'm like, I'm somewhere else right now. like there's a thing that we have to do at my job where when we send inmates from our housing unit to the cafeteria, the chow hall, we have to count them.
Mm-hmm.
And the lines are usually about 60 or 70, something like that. And I couldn't make it past 30. Like, ADD was kicking in hard. I'm like 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. And then all of a sudden, I'm still counting, but I'm thinking about like 5 different things. And I hit like 60 and the line's over with. And they're like, I got 75. I'm like, oh, yeah, I wasn't even close. So it is what it is. I have really bad ADD. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I always have. I've always had it in school. If I don't care about what you're talking about or about what we're doing, I just don't fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I get for having my own thoughts, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I can definitely tell, like, when your ADD kicks in when I'm telling a story or something and you just ignore me.
I don't ignore you. I just start thinking about other things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Squirrel. Yeah. But it was always a problem, even as like a kid. Like I was good in school. I was good up until like middle school to high school, where I could actually start doing other things and thinking my own things. Whereas in grade school, it's all fucking, I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, I was actually, my mom told me many, many years down the road that I actually had teachers that recommended I was put on medications as a kid. And my mom basically told them to fuck off. But that's like, why do we do that? Actually, a friend of mine took, I believe it was Ritalin. He took Ritalin for a long time, and I don't think it helped him. But I don't think it mattered. It's not you're just. It's not that your kid has an issue. It's that your fucking kid has his own thoughts.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do fucking 12 plus 12. He doesn't care. I don't want to do it. And then when I got to high school, I just stopped doing it.
Yeah, you told me you had like senioritis, like just all through high school.
Yeah, from like 7th grade on, I was a senior in my head. And the year I was a senior was actually, I took it to the next level. Like, well, I've told you this before, but like when I was a senior, I took a college course. It was graphic design. But it was one of the few college courses that was taught by a college professor, but it was taught at my high school, not at the community college that was like 20 minutes down the road or whatever. So when we hit Christmas break, the teacher, obviously college gets a lot longer breaks than high school does. So for like 2 weeks after we came back, she wasn't there. And we had this filler like bullshit that was like college prep classes. And I'm like, well, I'm not coming to this. So I just stopped. And then the teacher came back and I still just didn't go. So that was like the last 2.5 hours of my day. And I just left every day. Get done with lunch and I'm like, okay, see you, bye. It's 12:30 in the afternoon. I just leave school every day. Nobody ever caught me. Nobody ever stopped me. I just fucking left.
That must be nice.
Yeah.
They didn't have anything like that at my high school.
No?
No.
Can you speak up? I just feel like you're whispering again.
No.
Okay. Now you threw me off.
I'm sorry.
There you go. Say it with your chest.
No.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Oh, I started working out this weekend.
You're a liar.
No. I mean, so like I was working mostly like my fingers and I was playing Call of Duty.
I hate you.
But it was intense.
No.
I was sweating. It really was.
I hate you.
It was rough. I was sweating hard. Eli would appreciate this joke. No, but really. I know we've been saying we need to work out for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Since we've been together.
No, since we've been
Since
together.
we've been together, we're like, hey,
Yeah.
we should really start working out again.
Yeah. The only thing is like my gym that I normally go to, there isn't one in Morris.
Yeah.
But there is one where like my work is. Like there's
Yeah.
one like 10 minutes from my work, and
Don't you pay for that?
I freaking pay for it every month. And I'm too scared to cancel it, because if I cancel it, then I have to pay more the next time I start. Like, because you have to pay like
Like a startup fee?
a startup fee.
That's stupid.
It
You
is
should never
really,
go back to that place.
It's just really convenient to go there when I lived at my parents' house. But
Yeah.
no, it's
How long have you paid for that? Have you been paying for that since we've been together?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a little over a year that she's been
Mhm.
paying for this gym membership. How much is it a month?
I think 20 or 30.
Yeah. Never gone.
Never gone.
Never. That's insane.
It is bonkers.
I've worked out more times in the last year than you have. I
Playing basketball does not count at work.
Excuse me?
That does not count
That
at
is
work.
30 minutes of rigorous activity.
Does not count.
Yes, basketball absolutely counts as working out.
I ran for like a week,
You rode your bike once.
and I rode my bike more than that. It just hurts my butt.
Yeah.
The seat hurts really
Well,
bad.
you could take that $30 for your gym membership and buy yourself a new seat.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, winter is coming. I don't know what you should do.
I mean, do I look okay? Am I getting fat? Just answer it.
No, you're not getting fat.
I
I'm
mean,
getting fat though. You know, I weighed myself the other day. Guess what?
What?
Guess what it is?
You broke 200?
I've been broken 200.
Oh. So 250?
No. Do I look 250?
No.
You fucking kidding me?
I don't know what you want from me.
220.
Okay.
220. My highest before this was 215. I was 215 like a year out of high school because I was working at fast food. I was working Arby's.
Mm-hmm.
And we get free pop. I'm just drinking Mountain Dew, just slamming Mountain Dew all day long at work. And I was like 215, and then I started this super hard health kick for like 8 to 9 months. And I shredded myself all the way down to 165. From 215 to 165, and then I put on 20 pounds of muscle. And that's when I started like taking the courses for personal training and stuff like that right before I got this job.
Yep.
And it just all went back to shit. I mean, I still have the muscle, I just don't have the tone anymore. I just don't got it. And it was like it didn't matter how many half-hour basketball sessions I did, like I just couldn't maintain. I couldn't. It wasn't enough because I used to go to the gym for like 2 hours at a time.
Yeah. No. I mean, I did like, so I weighed myself at my sister's house. I want to say like, I don't know, it was the last time I was there, and she has a scale there, and I just weighed myself, and I was like, I had to have broken like 120 by now.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
120. Yeah.
Nope. I weigh the same that I weighed in freaking high school, and it feels like I've gained weight.
Yeah, you say all the time you think you have.
I feel like I've gained weight, like, and I just didn't weigh myself for like months, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna weigh myself, because guys, this my thing is like, as petty as it sounds, like I actually got bullied a lot for being skinny.
Oh, I can imagine.
Like people, like girls were just super mean to me in high school, and I had people telling me all the time, go eat a burger, and I love burgers. Like it's one of my favorite foods.
That is other than what is it, the bacon cheeseburger pizza that you buy.
I love the bacon cheeseburger
She
pizza.
buys these frozen bacon cheeseburger pizzas. She slams those herself sometimes.
I just love them, and
Yeah.
so I figured, yes, like I had to have broken 120 by now, and nope, I'm still like I think it was like 114 or something. Yeah. And in high school I always like, my weight fluctuated a lot. I like literally weighed from like 105 to like 115.
Yeah.
Just depending on how active I was or what I was doing or whatever. But so my thing is I've always wanted to gain weight and still not doing it. I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean, I don't mind being 220. I just wish that I didn't have the gut.
I love it.
Why? You love the gut?
I do.
I don't.
I know it probably makes you feel like, I'm sure it makes you feel like bad, but I don't know, something about a dad bod gets me.
Well, it's not even just that. It's just how I feel. Like I'm just in general so unhealthy nowadays that I feel like shit all the time. I don't know.
And I am gonna say, like, I'm gonna take like 80% of the blame, because my thing is when I eat and I have leftovers, I make Matt eat my leftovers. I don't make him, but he just ends up eating it anyway. I'm like, hey, you want this? Do you want the rest of this?
Here's the thing. Like, when we go out to eat, she'll order something that's way over her limit. And I'll eat what's typically right for me. And then I'll end up finishing hers. But the other thing is when I do cook and I have food in the fridge, you don't fucking eat it. When's the last time you went in the fridge, pulled out a Tupperware with food in it, and ate that shit? You can't answer
recently.
It. Don't try.
No,
stop
I
it.
brought it to
No.
work.
No. Yeah, the chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. One time. You know what would give me an opportunity to work out as much as I want to?
Moving?
No.
Oh, what?
Going to prison. Those guys work out all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's insane. Like, so we try, like, just state policy, what they're allowed to eat and stuff. They try to limit their like protein intake to a certain degree, because they do nothing but work out.
Yeah.
And our fat ass officers do nothing but sit around and press buttons and turn keys all day.
It's crazy.
So yeah, those guys, what would you do if I got locked up? Like, let's say Saturday popped off.
Yeah.
And I just beat some dude within an inch of his life. And I ended up getting thrown in prison.
Okay.
How, like, what? What would happen between us?
I would cry.
Well, that's on your own. You're going to cry on your own.
My thing is like, depending on the situation, like, so let's say, like, you beat the heck out of this guy or whatever. He's almost dead.
This
like,
is a rated R stream. You can curse.
Okay. Well, you beat the fuck out of this guy.
There you go.
And
say it with your chest.
I'm pretty sure I, like, blinked when I said fuck.
Fuck. You just, fuck.
I just, like, flinched. Like, I just don't want to say it.
I mean, you don't have to.
I don't know what I would do, because it would just depend on how long you were getting locked up for.
Well, if he didn't die, it would just be like aggravated battery or something like that. I'd probably get a couple years.
Fuck.
First time offense, though, I don't know. It depends. I'm white, so. And I wear a badge. So,
You're so bad.
I mean, you know, the recent case in Chicago kind of set the precedence. You know, he was found guilty.
Oh my god. Did I tell you my story about that?
No.
Okay.
I didn't know you knew anything about it.
I did. There's only one reason I knew, and it's because I was Ubering, and I just got off work, so I got to pick up for like, I don't know, 10 minutes out of town. So I go to this house, and there's already 2 people standing outside waiting for me. This is going to be a little bit of a long story. Okay. And so
buckle up,
you guys. And so I like pull up, and then I realize that it's a man and a woman, and the woman has sticks in her hand. And I'm like, what the? And then I realize she's blind. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like, he's helping her. So I get out of the car because I'm going to, like, help her, like, find the doorknob and everything. And
Handle. Do you have
That's
knobs on your car?
no.
That's weird. Those fucking Buicks. They're really old school.
Anyway, so the guy was, like, helping her, but he was wearing glasses. And then I realized he was blind too. And I was like, oh my God, they're adorable. Like, they're just this blind couple. And it was just so cute. So they get in my car and they were just so nice. They're like, how are you doing today? And I was like, I'm doing really good. Like, just talking to them. And I was like, so where are we going? What's going on tonight? And they go, we're going bowling.
Bowling.
It's like, what? Like, how?
Can I ask you a question real quick
Yeah.
before you finish this story?
Yeah.
What does this have to do with the thing in Chicago?
Let me tell you.
All right, go
Let
ahead.
me tell you.
As
So-
long as you know there's a point.
There is a point. So, the woman, she's actually going to Chicago. She's commuting every Monday and Friday. She's staying at a school for the blind. So, like,
Uh-huh.
how to function independently as a blind person.
Uh-huh.
And her thing is she's so scared of taking the train, but she has to take the train every single day. So she was saying, I picked them up on a Sunday. So she was saying that Friday that they had to take the train home. And she's like, we usually go about 1 or 2 o'clock and take the train home. She said that the train was packed. Like,
No.
I mean, she could obviously just, like, sense people were there.
Yeah, it was packed like sardines and
Yeah, and she
shoulder
was
to
just like,
shoulder.
she was saying, she was like, it was just weird. Like, I mean, I don't know if anyone knew that, like, I was blind, but, like, it was really hard for me to, like, keep my balance and
Well,
everything.
I'm sure they realized that she was blind when they all kept getting hit in the ankles with her stick, but
She was so nice, you guys. She was such a sweetheart.
Mm.
And she had said that all of, like, anyone who, like, commuted to the city actually got let off work at, like, noon that day because of the trial. They were expecting, like, pretty much if the trial went the wrong direction, like,
Mhm.
all of Chicago just to burn down.
right. And it would have probably.
Yeah, it would have. So she was just saying how much of an inconvenience that was for her.
I'm trying to go to school to be independent, guys.
Can y'all not take the train at the same time?
Yeah, we
So-
actually had we had some guys that had to take guys on court writ.
Mm-hmm.
Court writs that day, the day of the what's it called when they determine not guilty or guilty or whatever.
I don't know. Trial?
Yeah, the verdict.
The verdict.
The day of the verdict. We actually had guys going to court, just the floor below where the trial was being held,
Mm-hmm.
and they went probably at like 12 to 1 o'clock, and they were super surprised. Everything was chill.
Really?
Like nobody was there. And apparently one of the officers was talking to some guys at the courthouse, and they were saying that, yeah, the protesters, they show up pretty early, and then they all go for like lunch, 11:30 or 12, and then they just never come back.
Shut up.
Apparently that's what they do.
No.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So they were like, yeah, we saw like 2 guys there the day before, and they were the only 2 guys that were there when we got there the next afternoon.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Do you ever, like, think, like, people who protest for, like, days and weeks at a time, like, how are you living?
Yeah. Well, you know,
How do you make a living off of protesting?
I can't say how I feel about it.
Okay.
Or what I think.
Oh, okay.
But I have some ideas about their lifestyles.
Okay.
For the protesters. I'm
Mhm.
sure there are people there that have full-time jobs, and they just, you know, if it's something that they're passionate about, you could probably get time off work or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, yeah. I don't know where I was going.
I don't know.
I had a
either.
question about the blind people.
Oh.
Um,
I wish I knew how they had bowled.
yeah.
How they'd done.
I wish I knew how they know how they bowled.
I know. So she had said, like, she was like, oh, I did well last time. Like, I scored a 9.
Scored a 9.
I scored a 9. Like, that was her score for the entire game. And I was like, she's just so cute. She was so sweet.
I mean, they could at least use like the little ramp thing to roll
no,
the
they
ball down.
refuse.
Yeah,
Her thing is like
but
she wants to be as independent as possible. Like, she hates when people try to help her. And she probably got mad at me for trying to open the door for her.
I mean, even if you're old, you should still use the ramp. I don't know. That's just my thing.
It was amazing.
All right.
It's a good experience.
So we're about 30 minutes in. I don't know. I'm struggling with math right now. 3/4 of the way done here. We're going to take a moment out and interact with the live chat. Remember, if you're listening on Spotify or iTunes right now, we stream live on YouTube and Twitch at Beards and Blush for bonus content or live chat interaction. Head on over to the live stream, and we'll be back. Yeah. Yeah.
Was hoping.
So there were some things said in chat that I wanted to respond to, but I couldn't. Somebody hope you reported them to the landlord. That's right. We have not. And I don't know that it will, because we're just trying to move. Like, I've been looking into some things to help us buy a house as fast as possible.
Yeah, we're just trying to get out of here, you guys.
So, I mean, if it becomes a persistent problem, then absolutely I will. And Kendall has at least interacted with the other tenants of the apartment, so we'll band together
Yeah.
to kick this white trash out.
I know. And Matt
'cause they're
doesn't
fucking bad.
Matt doesn't talk to people, but I've at least talked to the 2 other couples that live in the building. Super nice. So I'm going to try to converse with them about if they're having any problems with them as well.
Yeah. ADD just means you are super smart with a hyperactive brain. You're like an excited dog that needs exercise for your brain.
Don't make his head any bigger.
You know, I was actually already thinking about this. Like, so when I was watching Joe Rogan interview Elon Musk, and he described like how he understood at a very young age that he was very different from other kids, and he was afraid of it. He was afraid of being cast out because of it, but then he started to embrace it. And Joe Rogan just asked him what it was like what goes on in his head when he's just allowed to let it go. And the way he described it was like, it's just like constant explosion. It's just minute after minute, second after second, he's got things going through his head, and he bounces back and forth. He described it as, it's like just a continuous explosion in his brain. And I believe him. I'm not on Elon Musk's level, but like I said, when I'm like counting out chow lines at work, and I'm, between counting number 30 and counting number 60, I fucking hit, I can't even count how many different thoughts go through my head, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, I lost count of this line.
Yeah.
And I've also always told people, like, people often ask why I'm so quiet, and it's because I'm just trying to sort through what's going on in my head often. And like, I always tell people, if you see me, like if we're in a car or something and people are talking and I'm just quiet staring out the window, like, brace yourselves, because something is coming. Like, I just go down this rabbit hole, and I can start at a bottle of Sprite and end at fucking Clorox bleach for whatever reason. It just goes off the rails in my head all the time.
Yeah.
And I get that. Like, fortunately for me, in school I was a really good test taker, but when it comes to just bullshit like homework. I just couldn't do it. I'm like, there are so many other things. When I'm in a classroom, there's nothing else for me to do. But when I'm here, I have so much more that I could do. And all I do when I sit there and stare at my homework is think of all the things that I could be doing right now.
I hated kids like you in high school.
Yeah.
I am like so illiterate that even doing my homework and doing my homework plus a test, like still was just getting by. So like you to not do your homework and like ace all your tests and pass school with flying colors really pisses me off.
I wouldn't say flying colors.
But still.
I would say I had a lot of flying colors and a lot of C's. You know, those like whatchamacallums, math and English, like the gen ed classes I struggled in doing the homework for anyways. If it was just tests, I would have been fine. But I only failed one class ever, and that was trigonometry. Thank you very much.
Your cat's going crazy.
Did you guys discuss what the topics are for tonight? So we don't really, I mean, we discuss it amongst ourselves before we go live. We'll take like a half an hour out and just like sort through stuff. But I don't really get on here and say what the topics are going to be for the night. We just get into it.
He just like slides into it.
Can you open the door? Just let him out. Keep her in there. He's going ham on that door. We're going to pay for it. He was guilty and the Chicago police were out strung on riot gear Friday night up there for Justin Timberlake. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you said it, not me. I'm not going to read that. Your unit was on standby hoping shit would hit the fan. Yeah, I think, I mean, we were prepared for it in the prison system as well. But once the verdict came back and nothing really happened, like, it was just in a matter of hours, everything was back to normal. But yeah, around like noon, 1 o'clock, I don't remember when the verdict actually came back, but around that time, we were like shutting the prisons down. Putting extra bodies around and stuff like that where we could, just in case. And we probably would have been on lockdown for a week at least, or 2 weeks, had he gotten off or whatever. But I don't know. Did you ever watch the video?
What video?
Of the shooting?
No. Did you?
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Oh.
Like what they show on TV obviously stops right when the shooting starts.
Right.
But I mean, fuck, man. Unfortunately, there's nothing you're ever going to be able to do to prevent human emotion. Like, it doesn't matter. You can pass all kinds of tests, psych tests, high stress tests, like they do like the polygraph stuff, and it doesn't matter. You're never going to be able to simulate somebody in the situation with their finger on a trigger in a high pressure with a felon who supposedly was called in for having committed a crime recently that day. You're just never going to be able to weed out the people that can't handle that kind of pressure and that get antsy in that situation. So you're always going to have the element of human emotion and anxiety in situations like that. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Yeah.
Sometimes I get worried because, like, I know my dad has a concealed carry, so he'll have his gun on him and everything. But like he's like me. I get this from him. He's a very, very jumpy person. So like if it came upon the wrong situation and he had to pull out his gun, like I think there's been like 2 instances where he's had to pull out his gun and he hasn't obviously pulled the trigger. But I mean, once again, like I don't know like how his emotions are gonna take over, if it's really like life or death, or if it's just his own brain, or because you heard about that. There was another guy who had shot someone in a movie theater or something. This guy, it was a really weird situation, but there was a guy and his wife. They went to go see a movie, and the couple in front of them were on their phone. The husband was on his phone. He was actually texting his babysitter about his daughter, and the guy behind him said, "Turn off your phone," in like a threatening manner. And the guy kind of stood up and he was like, "I'm texting my babysitter right now." And the guy had a concealed carry and just shot him because he felt threatened. And he was literally just an old man, knew that he couldn't, if it came to a fight, he wouldn't have been able to defend himself. And
the guy with the gun.
Yeah. So his first reaction was just to shoot him.
Yeah. And that's another thing, is like, it doesn't even matter if you like really put a clamp down on concealed carries or who we sold weapons to. You're still somebody like me with all the training that I've had, and I know under pressure I could keep my cool, no problem, because I do that under every scenario ever. Like I said, I'm always level no matter what, until I go upstairs and bang on the door and tell them to get the fuck out.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I've ever seen you actually like lose it.
Yeah. And I didn't even
and
lose
you
it.
didn't even lose it. Like, he came back down, he was just calm.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I handled it.
Well, like I said, and I think it was the last episode, like, I'm the same way at work. When an altercation pops off, you know, you go to it, you handle it, and then it's a clean slate from there. It doesn't matter. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter how much of a clampdown you put on stuff like that. You're still never going to be able to account for human emotion.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah. You can have anybody with a gun out there could just snap off at any minute for whatever reason. And you're just, I don't know. That's why I think it's unfortunate that, I don't know. Not unfortunate. It's just, I wish weapon ownership was more, obviously in Illinois it's extremely common because we're a bunch of backwood folk, but I just wish weapon ownership was more of a prevalent thing, because then people wouldn't talk shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think you probably second guess pulling out your gun if you knew the person that you're staring at had a gun. But people are pussies. I don't even have a gun. I want a gun.
I have a gun and I've never touched it.
Well, you don't have a FOID card.
I don't have a FOID card. Wait. Oh, no.
No, you don't. I got mine.
I thought I ordered mine, but I never did.
No, and it's so easy too.
I know.
It's so it actually lazy. Blows my mind how easy it is to get a FOID card.
Because all
like
they do
fucking, you fill out a thing online and they send it to you in the mail.
Yeah,
like,
all they do is like a background check, right?
I guess.
Because there is some people who can't get FOID cards because like they have like obviously certain mental issues. Like if you have specific
or felonies.
Well, yeah, felonies.
I don't think
too.
you can get one if you have a felony.
No.
For me though, all I have to do is take my FOID card to work, and with the 40-hour training that I have plus requalification every year, all I have to do is pay the fee, and I get my concealed carry.
Yeah.
I don't even have to take a class or anything, but I've heard that you really should take the class because you can actually learn a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like there's one thing that stuck out to me that I heard somebody talk about. So I've never researched it, so I don't know if it's really true, but I believe if you have a concealed carry and you pull it, I don't know that you have to actually discharge, but if you pull the weapon, you have to like call the cops and say that you did it. You have a concealed carry and you had to pull your gun for a situation.
I believe it.
Yeah. I think that's what
it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, Texas is what I was thinking of when I said it should be more of a prevalent thing. Like there was a stand-up comedy special that somebody said something like that where it was like, you know, Texas has open carry, don't they? I believe Texas has an open carry.
Probably.
But yeah, it's like nobody. I mean, once you get used to, I'm sure if a place like Illinois went to just wide open carry, anybody can carry whatever the fuck they want all the time. It would be tense for a little while, but once people got used to it, it would probably calm things down a little bit. I doubt Chicago. Chicago's just a shitstorm.
Oh, it's terrible.
Regardless.
Yeah. Completely terrible. I mean, I know, like, if I were to get my FOID card, the first thing I would do is start taking concealed carry classes. But my thing is like, I just work crazy hours, so I don't know how I'd manage. But, like, that was my dad's thing. He said, you know, you're pretty much not touching his gun until you get a FOID card and you get your concealed carry. And he's like, I've looked it up and everything. There's actually a place in town that actually has, like, self-defense classes and, like, concealed carry classes for women, which is, I think, awesome. I've always wanted to take, like, self-defense classes because I'm a scared little bitch.
Yeah. Well, you're not very strong regardless.
No.
We were wrestling earlier and I schooled you.
Oh my god. I couldn't move him like a foot. I'm just weak.
Because I weigh 220.
I'm just little.
I'm fat.
And I
That's all it is.
And I weigh less than 120.
Less than 120.
I just want to say 120, but it's not.
Want to say 120, but it's not. Yeah. So I think I have a segue here. I've been working on a segue while you were talking.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into kicking the recorded audio back off. So we have about 15 minutes or so left in the audio version of the podcast to go on iTunes and Spotify. So just so you guys in the video and the live stream understand, when we say our goodbyes to the audio recording, that does not necessarily mean the stream is over. The stream will continue on as long as you guys are still chatting.
Yes,
we'll sit here for however long it takes to get 50 followers. If you guys know anybody that's on Twitch and could follow, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we need 31 more followers and we get our affiliate partnership.
Yay.
Which means we can start collecting your money.
You're so...
Yeah. Which it could not even be your money if you have Twitch Prime. But we'll save that for when we actually have a subscriber button.
Yes, please.
And you can subscribe to us for free. And Amazon will pay me instead of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so during the break, we were talking about weapons and guns and FOID cards and stuff like that. And Kendall said she has a gun, but she doesn't have any kind of license for it. I mean, she doesn't actually physically have it.
No.
But a gun was acquired for her. She just hasn't gotten a license to have it.
Yeah.
And I have mine. I just don't have a gun because I just don't have the money to afford it. But it's so easy to get your FOID card. We're just bad procrastinators.
Yeah. I'm a really bad procrastinator.
We procrastinate at everything we do. I procrastinate on sitting here and hitting the go live button to stream and to record this.
Yeah, he
bad.
does. It's really bad.
I just get some anxiety sometimes. I mean, I don't get anxious about doing the laundry. That's just pure laziness and procrastination.
I just realized I have laundry in the washer and dryer.
Laundry in the washer and dryer. Yeah, I was a big procrastinator in school too.
For you?
Yeah.
Same.
I don't remember why. I mean, I know why, but I just don't remember in what instance I was.
I mean, just writing papers and doing
Projects.
projects and everything. It was always last minute. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what I didn't. I mean, I worked, but I didn't work that often. I don't know what else I could have done with my time.
Yeah.
And there's just so much time in the day. I don't know why I didn't do anything.
I don't know either.
I mean, just in general.
You're just a bum.
Just a bum.
Yeah.
That's how I felt the other day when I gotten sick. But, like, it was just time was moving by so much slower
Mm-hmm.
when like I was just wasn't feeling good. Like five minutes would go by and felt like 45 minutes. It's absolutely bonkers.
I feel you.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I had a question for you, but you just kept talking. Oh, yeah. Like at that time, like when you're in that early phase of your life,
Mm-hmm.
like high school to shortly after high school, that's like the big chunk of your life that you kind of mold yourself
Mm-hmm.
in. So like, did you have anybody in particular that you kind of took things from or idolized in any way, or like, you absorbed quirks from your friends or family or any of that kind of thing?
I would just say my dad especially. I've gotten a lot of his quirks and stuff like that, but I would have to say I learned a lot from my sisters to not do what they would do because they were older than me.
So you're the youngest child?
I'm the youngest child of one boy and two other girls.
Mm-hmm.
They are my half brother and sisters, and I don't know. I would just learn when they would get into trouble in high school or anything like that to just not act like them. And
my sister's a half too. Did you know that?
What?
My sister is a half.
Really?
Yeah. Fun fact.
I didn't know that.
And what's interesting about what you just said is I was the exact same way. My sister was a troublemaker,
Yeah.
and I used her as an example.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I was the only one in my family who, I'm pretty sure, I actually don't know if my other older brother got arrested, but who didn't get arrested with the cops or get in trouble with the cops in high school. I was a good child.
I don't know that she ever got arrested. My sister's actually in the live chat right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sister, did you ever get arrested? Yeah, let us know.
Let us know.
Yeah, so like, it's distracting me.
Oh, sorry.
No, not you. She just posted a really long question that we'll get to here in a
Mhm.
minute, because I think it actually pertains to one of the topics that I wanted to cover next,
Mm-hmm.
which was like, did you have more?
No, that's it.
Oh, okay. So your father and your sisters,
My father and my
your
sisters.
siblings in general,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I think like comedically, I picked up a lot from my uncles. I just like I kind of idolized my uncles, and I was the same way with my family, my extended family anyways, as I am with strangers for the most part, which is weird because
Mhm.
they're my family.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we talked about this in the past. Just like I'm just quiet. Like, and I just, when I'm around my family, I'm just absorbing.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part. Now that I'm older, I interact a little bit more. But it's been a while since I'm right here. It's been a while since I've been to like a family function or something like that. But it actually has been a while since I've been to an extended family function. Did you hear that?
Yeah, what was that?
That's a notification that I thought I had turned off on my computer. Sorry about that. But now that it's the holiday season, hopefully we'll have another couple of instances to hang out with some family.
Yeah,
but
hopefully.
I always tried to emulate my uncles comedically anyways. Because I enjoyed their company. They're just funny guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know, after that I never really had anybody that I really looked up to or followed. But there are tons of things, that just little things that I pick up from everything and everyone that's involved in my life, whether it's like a comedian,
Mm-hmm.
a stand-up comedian that I watch a lot or something like that. I just start picking up little things from people or other live streamers, because nowadays I watch Twitch a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I just pick up little things from everybody. I feel like.
Yeah, I see that in you.
Yeah.
Just
That, and I watch a lot of movies.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say
God.
next.
Yeah.
So when we had first started talking, his thing with his coworkers when we would hang out was they would talk to each other in movie quotes that I hadn't seen, and so it was constant, just going back and forth with just different movie quotes that, of course, movies I have never seen because I lived under a rock. So, yeah.
Yeah.
To you.
I was actually thinking, I was thinking about Bunch.
Oh, Bunch. I miss Bunch.
Carl Bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the guys that I work with. He was on second shift, and we became pretty close. Not like hanging out outside of work, other than at the bar. Like every Monday, we'd go to the bar and throw darts or whatever. But we were on the same plane when it came to entertainment.
Oh God.
And we worked so well off of each other.
It was truly entertaining
Yeah.
to watch these two just go back and forth, and like I had no idea what they were saying, but I would still laugh because it was just hilarious.
Quoting things, quoting movies.
Yeah.
We have a shared favorite movie, which is Tropic Thunder with Robert Downey Jr.
My heart.
and Jack Black and what's the other fucking guy's name? I don't remember. He's like,
I can literally picture him right now.
yeah,
too.
he's the other main character. Maybe you guys in chat can help us out. By the way, my sister did respond. She has not been arrested. My uncles, however, were arrested. So, maybe I chose wrong.
Anyway.
God, his name's gonna bug me now. Anyways, moving on, because, you guys look it up for me. Yeah. What about, like, relationship-wise? Did you ever, like, and maybe not seek advice, but did people, like, try to usher you in any way?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever follow their advice?
Mm-mm.
No?
Someone would usher me away, I would go the opposite direction.
Right.
I mean, I probably took the most relationship advice from my parents, but it wasn't very good. Most of the time they stayed out of my relationship statuses because that's what parents should do. But I mean, I think my parents just taught me like how I should be treated and how I should respect myself. So I mean, that was mostly it, and you fit it perfectly.
Yeah.
You treat me like the princess that I am.
Yeah. Yeah. So
What about you?
I'm going to read this question that somebody posted in chat because it's kind of long. How have we been handling the situation? So, I think I've said this in every fucking episode so far. My mother is living with us, and she her and my stepfather are, I believe, officially splitting up now. But it's funny because I actually got some of the best relationship advice that I had ever gotten from him. And I still hold on to it to this day because some of the things that he had said to me were in the middle of like some of the most turbulent times in my dating life so far. I mean, I'm only 26. It's not even halfway there. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's interesting to me to see him in the way he is now, not following the advice that he gave me. And in a way, I wish that I could give him the same thing back, but I think it's too far gone, and I don't think he would listen to me anyways. But it is just interesting that yeah, I got some of the best advice from him that I'd ever gotten. And so when I say turbulent times, how old was I? 20?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 20. 6 years ago. I cheated on my girlfriend at the time. And I think just one of the things that he said to me was, there's always going to be somebody out there that's got something that you don't. They've got something that your girl doesn't have, or your guy doesn't have, or whatever. They're better looking, they make more money, they're funnier, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all a matter of who you can resonate with, who you click with the best, who do you just communicate with on a whole nother level. And I still carry that to this day, and I can look around and see, these gorgeous women, whatever, walking around, and just think, you're always going to have that creeping thought, like, oh, hey, but when you really think about it, and luckily I have the ability to step back and think about that, to just think like, there's no way that I can have the intimate emotional attachment that I have with you to somebody else.
I'm just special.
I just don't think so. I mean, no, I think you're special, but I just don't think that I could have that again with somebody else.
I respect that.
Yeah.
And like I respect the honesty and everything as well. Like, I mean, you said that to me a long time ago, and I don't take offense to anything that you just said. I'm not crazy.
I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
I'm not crazy, you guys. But
so another one of the things that he said to me was just like, essentially, okay, so I have something written down here that I need to kind of read. I'm not going to read it word for word because I was jotting down a bunch of thoughts at once. But it was basically like, in the middle of my extremely toxic relationship, I was with her for 4 years. The first 2 years were fine. The second 2 years were awful. And we were both at fault. And I just remember I was your typical person, young kid in a relationship that believes that everything was the other person's fault, even though I was the one that was cheating. It was her fault. And he basically sat me down and like walked me through all of the reasons why it was my fault, and told me that this will never be fixed until you both decide that you are both at fault. And when you both decide to change, not for the other person, but for yourself. Because there's no relationship that's ever going to work when one half of the relationship is broken. And that was just another thing that he taught me that I'm thankful for.
Yeah. And that's awesome.
Yeah. So.
I just don't have, I'm just like kind of speechless from it. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
It's just a lot.
We're going to end on that.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to let that resonate with people.
Yeah.
For those listening on iTunes or Spotify, you can hit us up on Twitter. For those watching the video on Twitch or YouTube, you can leave us a comment. Let us know what the best relationship advice that you ever got was. Did you follow it, and why?
I love that. Please, I'm really curious about everyone's answers.
Yeah.
I really want to know.
Yeah. So let us know. And once again, hit the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the bell, hit the sub. Follow us on Twitch. Follow us on Twitter. And we'll see you guys hopefully
Friday.
I think you said you close Friday, so we're going to have to do it Thursday, right?
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah. I think we're going to be here Thursday night. So we'll see you guys then. Woo!
That was rough.
That was hard. That was a lot harder to say than I thought it was going to be.
That was really rough.
So going back to the question that I didn't hit on there, and that's kind of why I didn't read the question out loud, because I wasn't sure if I was going to answer it for the audio cast. But since Mother has been living there for a few weeks now, how have you guys been handling the situation and arguments due to it? Well, there haven't been any issues between us.
No.
It was just a matter of, like, when she came to me saying that she wanted to stay here, I with Kendall there, she kind of accepted it for me.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to accept it right off the bat. I would have eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a lot of things that I wanted to say about it.
I know.
Before
I know.
because she's pulled this before, and she came and she stayed with us for like she stayed with me. This was before Kendall.
Yeah.
She moved in with me for a couple of hours,
Mm-hmm.
and then she moved back home.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her right then and there, I was like, never again, because we've played this game with other people before, and that's another thing, like, about relationship advice, and people just never fucking follow it.
Mm-hmm.
I have been such a huge source of relationship advice over the last many years, and fucking nobody follows it. Nobody listens to me, and I'm always right. 100% of the time when people ask me shit like that, I'm always right, and they always go against me, and they always get burned, and they always come back and say, oh, hey, you were right. I'm like, yeah, I know. I told you that.
Yeah.
But we accepted her, and
Right.
everything is fine.
Yeah.
I don't care. She's, helping around here.
I don't know. I was just gonna say, like, when you had said, like, the way I reacted, like, I grew up with always welcoming people into my home. Like, I grew up with constantly there was always someone living with us, whether it was family, whether it was friends. Like, my parents were always taking people in and helping any way they could. So that's how I am. And even just being with Matt for a year, I can't tell you how many of my friends have, talked about their living situations and don't know where they're going to go. And I have voluntarily just welcomed our apartment to all of them without even discussing it with Matt first, because it's literally a reaction for me to just welcome people in with open arms. And that is kind of my fault for doing that without permission of Matt's, because this is his apartment. But he understands the way I am and respects that as well, and knows whatever the situation is, it isn't going to be long term. So I respect him for respecting me in that way, which is awesome of you.
It's because you guys are still fairly new into your... Yeah, I mean, it didn't take long for Kendall to kind of see the state that my mom's and my stepdad's relationship was in. And it's been like that for a while, and they've been working on things. It's just not working out. That's just the way that it is, and it's not always going to work out. But yeah, she accepted my mom before I did.
Yeah. He looked at me and I was looking at her, and I said, of course.
Yeah. But I mean, we had talked before about letting somebody else that move in with us. We're less than a year into our relationship. Kevin, same situation. His mom moved in, same exact situation, but ours turned out bad. His mom is not like... Yeah. I've heard about your guys' story from our mother. And yeah, sometimes you try to help people out and you get burned for it. And I knew that's the way that, or that's not the way it was going to be with our mom. Some of the other people that you've offered, I'm not so sure about. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And it's not because I don't like them as people. It's just because I hesitate on, like, living with other people, especially when I don't really know them. And that's why I pay the bills that I pay, and I do the things that I do
to be by yourself
for independent.
Yeah.
independency.
Yeah.
And I will do whatever it takes. I will do whatever I have to do to remain independent and not have other people. Like, I never trusted any of my friends to ever live with them. They're just not reliable enough financially.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it definitely sucks living with other people. I mean, I've been burned in the past, so it just sucks.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we lost like half our viewership when I ended the audio cast, so obviously
really?
people weren't paying attention.
Oh no.
It is what it is.
That sucks.
Yeah.
How many people did we have in?
Oh, like 7 or 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There was something else I was gonna say, but I can't remember now. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just constant mood.
Yeah. Happens a lot.
Yeah.
How long have we been live for? 1 hour and 17 minutes. That's about typical.
Yeah.
I think, unless you guys have any more questions, comments, or concerns, we're going to go ahead and call it a night here. Kendall's going to take her face off, and I'm probably going to play some more Call of Duty.
Yay.
Yay. All right. So for those of you guys that suffered through our entire video, kudos to you.
Thank you.
The people on the live stream, thank you for hanging out. Be sure to hit the thumbs up. Follow us on Twitch. Even if you don't have a Twitch, it's super easy to create an account. It's free, and it helps us out a ton. Just to follow us on Twitch. You don't even have to watch on Twitch. Just go, yes, PC. Just go to Twitch, follow us, and then forget you even have a Twitch account, and that'll be perfectly fine. So yeah. Thanks for hanging out. And the same goes for you guys watching the live stream of the videos. Let us know in the comments or on Twitter. Relationship advice. Did you follow it? Was it good? Did it burn you? Did you burn them at the stake? Yeah. Let us know. All right, guys. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you, I think, on Thursday.
Hopefully on Thursday, but we will let you know on Twitter.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right. Bye.